This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
The importance of the upcoming election cannot be overstated. And the Republicans, they're picking their path. They're choosing the people they want to lead them in tomorrow's America. Mark Robinson just got nominated for the Republicans to be governor of a state, North Carolina. And I'm going to talk a little bit about who he is and what he believes and what he has said. But I really want to drill down on just how dangerous the America of tomorrow could be. That Donald Trump is endorsing, he is putting his weight behind candidates who are racists and demagogues and anti-Semites, conspiracy theorists, haters. They are molding themselves into an image just like Donald Trump. And that is the case with Mark Robinson. I'm going to read a few things from this Slate article. I scoured the internet. I had a bunch of quotes. I was going to read from a New Republic article. But this one really just encapsulates who he is and who Republicans in the state of North Carolina have chosen to lead them, to be their executive, to be the governor of their state, implementing policies that they see fit, signing legislation, directing the agenda of the state. And Mark Robinson, let's just look at this Slate article. Here's the title. North Carolina's winning GOP nominee for governor sure has said some things. Meet Super Tuesday's breakout offensive candidate. And I will skip the preamble here. We'll just get right to some of the things that he has said. As you would expect with any Republican, they're against abortion. They are pleased that Roe v. Wade was felled. We'll just go with the mispronunciation, the slip up as a rhyme. It has been felled like a tree in the forest. They are dead set on recreating America in an image of a white Christian nationalism, which is, I would say it's odd, but Mark Robinson is just another set of MAGA Republicans who happen to be black that are carrying water for white supremacy. In this list of things I'm getting ready to read, he even attacks the concept of white privilege as though it's fake. He quotes Hitler talking about how white people should be proud of their race. It's all very, very bizarre. So let's start with his some of the things he said about abortion here. I don't care if you're 24 hours pregnant. I don't care if you're 24 weeks pregnant. I don't care. If you kill that young'un, it is murder. 24 hours pregnant, when a sperm has just met with an egg and it's hours old. It's not a baby. It's not even a clump of cells yet. That is a young'un. That is a child. This person wants to be governor of the state, controlling the healthcare choices of millions of women in the state. He thinks that climate science is pseudoscience. He's an uneducated idiot in that way. The media see through their lies and look at the big picture of the true intent, which is to push the U.S. toward their new world order. This is all conspiracy theory nonsense that has been promulgated in the United States by militia groups and white Christian nationalists, white supremacists for decades. And now it's okay to talk about in the open, in polite public, because Donald Trump has allowed it. Here, we'll start with some of his anti-Semitic hate about the Jewish people. He voiced agreement with the pastor who claimed the four horsemen of the apocalypse are the China, CIA, Islam, and the Rothschild family of international bankers that rule every single central bank, which is a long, deeply rooted white supremacist conspiracy theory against Jews. Also, regarding the movie Black Panther, get a load of this. It is absolutely amazing to me, says Mark Robinson, that people can get so excited about a fictional hero created by an agnostic Jew and put to film by satanic Marxist. How can this trash that was only created to pull the shekels out of your Schwarze pockets, that I believe is Yiddish for black, so he's being racist there, how can that invoke any pride? He is a Holocaust denier. Of course, it wouldn't be a Donald Trump endorsed candidate if they weren't a Holocaust denier. He said that there is a reason the liberal media fills their airwaves with programs about the Nazi and the 6 million Jews, quote unquote, they murdered. There is also a reason the same liberals do not fill the airwaves with programs about the communists and the 100 million people they murdered throughout the 20th century. As though history isn't taught in a fulsome nature about the atrocities visited upon humanity by Stalin in Russia. It is absolute nonsense and lies, and only serves to cast doubt on the events that absolutely took place during World War II at the hands of Nazis. And, look around, who's flying the Nazi flags now, and at whose rallies do they attend? It's Republicans. He also, in 2014, quoted Adolf Hitler in a post. He said that about women, that we are called to be led by men. God sent women out when they had to do their thing, but when it was time to face down Goliath, he sent David, not Davita, David. I guess this is just a play on God made Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve, which I'm sure is something this idiot has said. About the Me Too movement, they're starting a new movement calling dressing in see-through, ultra-tight, breast-bearing whore dresses to protest sexual harassment. Not only that, he has defended Harvey Weinstein, Matt Lauer, Bill Cosby, acting as though those people are being taken down so we'll all live in fear and not be able to tell the truth. And there's audio of this one. Listen to this.
Honestly believe, Chris, that is what the left is doing with the Harvey Weinstein, the Bill Cosbys, the Matt Lauers. They have picked out an elite group of people that have committed these so-called sexual crimes or whatever kind of crimes they've committed or offenses, and they have thrown those people underneath the bus, eating their own, to breed a spirit of fear in people, so people will be afraid to stand up and speak up and get involved. Because they want people to say, they know everybody's got something in their past. Everybody's sins come short of the glory of God. They know that.
They're trying to destroy our resolve and our will and trying to make us afraid to stand up and speak the truth. Don't let it happen, folks. Look at this stuff for what it is. This thing that they did with Kevin Hart, and this thing all the way back, like I said, to Harvey Weinstein, the Bill Cosbys, all of them. It's all part of that same plot.
It should come as no surprise to you that Mark Robinson has participated in the racist Donald Trump conspiracy theory that Barack Obama was not born here, but is native of Kenya in Africa. Our first black president, there was a concerted effort, as you well know, to cast doubt on his citizenship, on his patriotism, on his eligibility to be president of the United States. And it was largely set into motion by Donald Trump. He said this: he entered the White House, talking about Obama, with a fake birth certificate. We know that to be false. He is one of these idiots that believes Michelle Obama is a man. I mean, they are so steeped in conspiracy theory that there is not a theory too nutty or too stupid for them to spout. I'll be glad when he takes his boyfriend and leaves the White House. He has attacked school shooting victims. Here, spoiled, angry, know-it-all children are trying to tell law-abiding adults that we must give up our constitutional right to own certain weapons. David Hogg and the rest of these silly little immature media prostitutes need to grab a passy, I think he means pacifier, have a seat in timeout, and shut up. He's talking about children who have survived brutal, horrific school shootings where multiple people were killed in the span of just a few minutes, calling them prostitutes, that they're whoring themselves out or being whored out. This man wants to be governor. And Republicans in the state of North Carolina want him to be their governor. About Islam, sad fact, he says, religious freedom in this country now means Muslims are free to do as they please, and anyone who says anything about it is a bigot. I hate to break it to you, Mark Robinson, but Muslims are free to do as they please as long as they abide by the law like the rest of us, like the rest of the normal population, I'm sure you believe. They are citizens. They are residents of the country. How should they comport themselves? How should they be treated by the rest of the populace? Bigotry? Hatred? This is derision. This is bigotry. Speaking of bigotry, we go moving right along to the LGBTQ community. There is no reason, he says, anybody anywhere in America should be telling any child about transgenderism, homosexuality, or any of that filth. And yes, I called it filth, he says. And if you don't like it that I called it filth, come see me about it. Later, facing backlash, the Slate notes, we will not be intimidated. The language I used, I am not ashamed of it. Come see you. Is that some kind of a threat? You think you're a tough guy? Dipshit? More specifically about the trans community, if all of a sudden Saturday you feel like a woman, you want to go into a women's bathroom in the hall, you will be arrested or whatever we got to do to you. Again, veiled threats of violence against an already marginalized community. Non-binary people, meanwhile, should use the restroom outside with the dog. This is the Republican choice to be governor of one of our 50 states. It should come as no surprise that this charlatan, who happens to be a black Republican, is opposed to the civil rights movement. The same civil rights movement that people fought and died so he could have a position of power and authority and influence in our culture. But he'll use the ladder that they put up, that they erected, to climb to heights and then yank that ladder up behind him. He said in a 2017 Facebook post, that crap in the 1960s, the civil rights movement, was the communist rise movement. He also called Martin Luther King Jr. a communist. Trump endorsing Robinson had this to say, I think you're better than Martin Luther King. I think you're better than Martin Luther King times 2. Martin Luther King Jr. times 2, he believes. He believes white privilege is a foolish concept perpetrated by the left, and also that the Confederate flag is good. Wow. Per Talking Points memo, he had a few posts on the topic of black people. February is Black History Month. I guess the shortest month of the year is all we need to learn about the separate but equal history of a people who have achieved so little. Bigot. No, it should come as no surprise that this person has been nominated by the Republican Party. Look, there's more. I could go on, but I'm going to stop there. This is dangerous. It is telling of where we are in America, that one of our two powerful political parties is replete with hateful demagogues, conspiracy theorists, misogynists, open bigotry. And he's going to be one of two choices. What do you think? If you live in North Carolina, I really, really want to know what you have to say. You can comment below. That'll help YouTube to share this channel with new viewers. That would be great. You can also call and leave me a voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me, as always, daily@dollemore.com. I would love to hear from you. And if you appreciate what I do, please consider supporting the work. You can click the join button, become a channel member right on YouTube. You can go to my Patreon page, patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. Settle in. We're in it. I'll see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another.